Alright, so today I want us to study something about algebra. Like, if we have minus x, simple equation, minus x equal to 6, it therefore means that x is equal to minus 6. And if we have minus x equal to minus 6, it therefore means that x will be equal to 6. If we also have 1 over x equal to 6, it therefore means that our x will be equal to 1 over 6. Alright, so these are the basic things we know about algebra. Solving simple equation in algebra. Okay, let's see some other examples. Solving one-step equation by taking just one action. From our understanding of equation, we know that x has to be 2, so that 2 times 2 will give you 4. But how do we solve this? By showing working. We divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2, of course, and x will be equal to 2. You can also say we are multiplying both sides by the inverse of 2. Multiply both sides by the inverse of 2, and which is 1 over 2. So this 1 over 2 will take care of this 2. X will be equal to half of 4 is 2. Alright, that's another way of seeing it. Okay, let's solve another one-step equation. So we have minus 2x equals to minus 4. We divide both sides by minus 2. Divide both sides by minus 2. And this is what you will get. Minus cancel out minus, 2 cancel out 2. X will be free. Minus divided by minus, or minus times minus, will give you plus. 4 divided by 2 will give you 2. Alright. Let's solve further problems on simple equations involving one step. So if we have x raised to power 2 equal to 4, what do? We simply square root both sides. Square root both sides, and we have it that x will be equal to plus or minus 2. Of course, that's one step equation. Okay, what if we have square root of x equal to 2? What do? Here we square both sides. Square both sides. That's what you do. Square both sides. If you square both sides, x will be equal to 2 raised to power 2, which is equal to 4. Alright, so that's what we do. Here we find out that square roots and squares cancel out each other. Square root and squares cancel out each other. So if a variable have a square root, you square it to cancel out the square root power. And if it carries a square power, you square root it to cancel out the square power. That's the idea. Let's look at other questions on two-step equations. Before we go to other two-step equation, let's not forget that minus times minus is equal to plus, and minus times plus is equal to minus, and plus times minus is equal to minus, plus times plus is equal to plus. These are basic things we need to know too. Alright, so let's go to two-step equations. For two-step equation, we have, let's say x plus 2 starts with x plus 2 equals to 3. What we do here is move 2 to the right hand side. We have 3 minus 2, and that will give you 1. Okay, what if we have 2 minus x equals to 5? What do we do here? I would suggest we take, but let's just follow protocols. Minus x equal to 5 minus 2, and minus x is equal to 3, like we said before. Therefore, x must be equal to minus 3. We've discussed that earlier. Alright, so let's have another one. Let's say we have 3 minus 2x equals to 9. What's 9? What do? We move the 3 to the right hand side, so we have minus 2x equals to 6. That will divide both sides by minus 2. Divide both sides by minus 2, and the minus 2 cancel out the minus 2. X will be equal to plus divided by minus, or plus times minus is minus. 6 divided by 2 will give you 3. So the answer is minus 3. We also have cases where the variables are all scattered like this and is equal to 8. What we have to do is to see that the variables are the same value, so we add them up. X plus 3x is 1x plus 3x will give you 4x equals to 8. After then, we divide both sides by what is holding the x, and if you divide that correctly, you will have your x to be equals to 2. Okay. Now we also have a case where we have 2x minus 3 equals to 2 plus x. Here what we need to do is to collect like terms. Move all the variables to the left hand side. So this plus 1 plus x will come to the left rather, it becomes minus x. And this minus 3 will come to the left right hand side rather, you have plus 3. So 2x minus x will give you x, and 2 plus 3 will give you 5. All right, so that's the value of x. Okay, let's have another one. Okay, so we have other cases. Let's say we have 3x all squared equals to 18, say 27. Okay, now the first thing we need to do here is to divide both sides by 3. Divide both sides by 3, and that 3 goes into 3. X squared will be equal to 9. From here we square both sides. Square both sides. Square both sides, our x will be equal to plus or minus 3. Alright, so that's how much we can take for 1-step and 2-step equations. Let's look at other questions in algebra. Alright, so see my next video involving fractions.